Hi, I'm Samantha Gowing from Gowings Food and Health, and I have had a passionate interest in food my entire life. Professionally, for over 25 years, I've been involved in the restaurant industry and have seen many trends come and go within that time. More recently, in the last 10 years, I've practiced as a clinical nutritionist and also worked as a therapeutic chef. So I look at the different healing properties of ingredients and how they can affect and restore the mind and body and soul. I've seen trends come and go, I've seen fads, I've seen diets, and what it really comes down to in order to be extremely healthy and vital and optimal is food as medicine and utilising the nutrition components and the healing properties of individual ingredients. I'm just going to throw some salad ingredients together into a little dressing to start with, and then just toss other ingredients through. So firstly I'm going to grate some fresh turmeric just so we've got a lovely colour. So I'm a great believer in that health food should not just be brown, and as you can see from the ingredients in front of me, there's a whole rainbow, a whole plethora of colour, and that's really, really vital. So a little bit of that turmeric there's maybe about half a teaspoon, maybe a little bit more. Some fantastic olive oils, and in Australia we're absolutely blessed to have a whole plethora of different oils, particularly these gorgeous flavoured oils, and this is from Calis in Western Australia, and this is an orange infused oil. And again, beautiful colour here. So we're looking for colour. We've already got the orange tones of the fish, and we're going to balance that with all of the greens and maybe some of the coloured capsicums as well that we've got at the front, more for garnish than anything. A little bit of lemon. So we want the acidity from the lemon to balance the pH. So we've got a base being the oil, and it's the acidity from the lemon that brings that into balance insofar as talking about pH. So we always have acid and alkaline in most things we have in life. So through there, just a little bit of good quality sea salt. That's a darker sea salt. It's a French salt, this one I'm using. It's got some dark qualities through it, so it's not bleached. It's not a straight NaCl. It's not sodium chlorine. It's got a full mineral salt component to it. So we do need sodium throughout every cell in the body, and sodium, potassium, as they balance and metabolise and regulate fluid in the body. So from there, a handful of sprouts. Just going to slice up some shiitake with the big knife. So because these are so young and fresh, I'm going to keep the stem on. Sometimes the stems can be a little bit chalky, actually, such as this one, so perhaps just discard the base of the stem and just gently roll your knife through it. Not too many, they're very strong. You don't want to overcrowd the flavour of the dish. Just a handful of almonds for texture, but obviously as well for the essential fatty acid component. So remember, when we're talking essential fatty acids, we're looking at anti-inflammatory. Now, most of the population has too much inflammation, way too much. And too much inflammation in the body causes a great deal of stress, not just cellular stress, but overall physical and mental stress. So we try and bring about a balance and reduce those foods that aggravate the stress response. So a handful of snow pea tendrils, and I'm just going to snip those with kitchen scissors. This is one of the best utensils. Kitchen scissors that actually come apart so you can wash them so bacteria doesn't live in the hinges. So they separate like magic, really important. Should be able to get them in most good cook shops. And just some other sprouts through here. Again, we'll just snip those gently. And I've got some asparagus on the side. I'm just going to cover that in boiling water. So I just want to change the colour of the asparagus. I don't really want to cook it through. I still want it to be quite crunchy. And again, small pot here, so I'm just going to break that down with my scissors and just let it sit for a moment. And then just for a little bit of colour, just gently going through breaking down some of the cherry tomatoes, just slicing them in half. You could easily toss these in the pan if you wanted to enhance their healing properties. But just for the purpose of demonstration, they're quite fine to be nice and raw. So just mixing that through. We want the shiitake mushrooms to start to absorb the marinade or the dressing, so it just takes out some of that pungent flavour because they can be quite strong. And we've got that lovely orange tone coming through from the turmeric. If you wanted to, of course, you could add fresh garlic, depending who's coming for dinner. And the asparagus, again, just needs a little bit of blanching. That might do us. And just look for the good spears, the top of the spear, if you're not too concerned about the rest of the asparagus. So just look for the tops. My beautiful olive oil is just gently coating each ingredient. Ideally do this with your hands, as long as they're clean. The fish I've actually baked, and I've cut a piece off this large side of ocean trout, and so I've literally baked it in a medium oven at about 180 for about 20 minutes. And so it comes out with this beautiful golden orange colour, a really gorgeous colour. And I typically use baking paper because obviously it's non-stick. I haven't added any oil, it's just cooking in its natural essential oils, and that's the most important thing. Most people ask me or tell me that the hardest thing that they find is actually cooking fish, that they just can't understand how to cook it, and it's as simple as anything. So 180 degrees, maybe 15 to 20 minutes depending on your oven, whether it's fan forced or convection or just a conventional old oven, and you can see it's just going to slide off the baking paper, and even the bottom of that is quite crisp. I've left the skin on, personal preference, but up to you. You can take the skin off, you can ask your fishmonger to take the skin off. So the fish is already cooked, and then with the presentation we typically use big white plate. So you're looking for colour and how all those ingredients are going to assemble on your plate, and really looking at height, just to give it, on a large white plate anyway, you're really looking at how you can make it the most appealing, attractive, even if you're just cooking for yourself. Make sure that you've got a beautiful component that you really want to look at. Now I've literally just poured that out of a bowl and it just comes up beautifully. And then with the fish, you can just gently entice it into the centre, or maybe just off to the side. And then you can season it as you need to. If you wanted to garnish it, you might like to drizzle a little bit of olive oil just to finish, and season it with some black pepper. And there you have a beautiful fresh sprout salad with baked ocean trout. Enjoy!